All right, we're back on a Thursday. Nice week off. Didn't have to worry about
That's nice.
getting stuff done. Thank you to Ross and Libby for taking over. Not giving us too much flack. I appreciated that.
I got
Although
a
I
lot of
was,
flack.
well, your team did. Your team did. Libby, in like the first 5 minutes, said he didn't want to be the version of me on the podcast. So, I
That's
mean,
true.
I took shots right away as the guy that talks too much. But we are back for our Week 10 look back, Week 11 look ahead. Do you have any thoughts on rivalry week that you wanted to get out there? I sent my email, so I basically said my piece, but if you had anything.
I was surprised to hear the pushback, I think, from Ross about picking new rivals. I mean, I get it. I respect your opinion, but it's kind of a dumb take. The rivals this year were fun, and I think we can change rivals every year. So that
Yeah.
was really my only thought.
I mean, I didn't know how to specifically word it in my email, so I just said that I strong armed you and Libby into the matchups. But what really happened was I had an opinion, and for Tim and Libby, that just means okay, sounds good. Glad you thought of something.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the person who thinks of something who gets things done, and that's in a fake fantasy football league. I think that's the strongest opinion.
Yeah, I just laid out matchups, and everyone was like, "That's good, no pushback at all." And I was like, "All right, we're doing it. I guess it's all my ideas." But I'm going to steal a little bit from what Ross and Livia did. I liked what they did with winners and losers at the start. Usually I just pick a couple of people to highlight, but I like going through all the winners of the week, all the losing teams of the week. So we're going to switch it up. So good idea there by you guys. I figured that if we let you guys take the reins, we might be able to steal some of your ideas. So gave us a week off, gave us some more ideas. So that's always nice. So we'll go through winners, losers. We'll go through best performances. We have our weekend updates. That should be hot and fresh now that we had all these extra ideas.
So much more time to plan.
And then our Week 11 power rankings. And then, I mean, I don't know how I keep doing it. My Stone Cold Locks of the Century of the Week. I am on fire.
Wept it last week again. Even though you picked it on Tuesday when the lines made absolutely no sense, you still somehow managed to win.
My Libby minus whatever it ended up being. I mean, it could have been 40. It could have been 50. It didn't matter.
We can actually bring this right into a winner because I was looking at Libby's team and I was just realizing how like his greatness is in part to me because I basically
And me.
I know
we made him powerful.
You gave him Jahmyr Gibbs. I gave him Keenan Allen, who I thought I was selling high on, but it turns out that he took them higher. And I mean, how good is that? It's ridiculous.
Gibbs has been incredible since I let him go. I mean, he just needed to be like in real life, paired with Montgomery, and together.
And they're just both good.
And I start the way less good version of that with the Browns running backs.
Yeah, I mean, Libby must be feeling great right now. And,
yeah, just
I'll just say you're welcome.
Pair for the week. Highest point performance of the week. So Libby, huge winner. Nathan, winner again. Also the only team to have clinched a playoff spot at 9-1.
Easily.
Yeah, had a down week with the bye week. Libby mentioned in his letter that both of us were affected by a bye. Nathan wasn't as affected. Took that one away. Stefan, 2-game winning streak. Oof. The man that we had at the bottom for multiple weeks in a row, no longer. Just boosting off of his rivalry week win, bringing that into this week.
I don't want to say that I spoke it into existence, but a couple weeks ago I did say that it would be nice to see Stefan make some noise, and he's done that.
Yeah, absolutely. So props to you. You're a winner. Sam got off of the rivalry week loss, back to his old form. Sam is back to the winner's circle. Tom has stayed hot. If you want to talk about the teams that we had talked about getting hot, Tom and Sam.
Yep.
Tom has stayed hot even through rivalry week. The Bengals are rolling. He had a good performance from them again. Burrow and Chase leading his team. And then the man that can't lose when I pick him, it's Drew. Just somehow sneaking away with these wins, even though Libby is in a mind meld over how that trade got put through when nobody wanted it, why he agreed to approve it. But Drew defies all the odds. His team's still good.
It's funny that we're still talking about it because I keep forgetting about it. But clearly Libby is like he's losing sleep over this trade and whether his power as GM should, I don't know. It's okay, Libby. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes being the dictator works. You know, democracy doesn't always work. Sometimes you just need somebody to make a decision and approve something.
Someone did say that no one man should have all that power.
Yeah, and then he went crazy. Started, yeah. Losers of the week. Seth called into question, I think, a little bit into Libby's letter. Is Seth's team good? We were pretty high on Seth for a couple weeks. I think he's just going to be one of those teams where when it's not good, it's really not good. And then when he's consistent, he's about a 120, 130 point scorer that should win most weeks.
It's a roller coaster.
Tim, you're the ultimate loser. It's tough.
I've changed my name because I've been getting this potato chip, storyline thrown at me. And last week I was looking at the waiver wire and I was like, do I want to get Ty Chandler? Do I want to get Josh Dobbs? And in the back of my mind, I heard Ross saying, don't do it. Don't take the Vikings players. So I didn't. And they both did really well this weekend. So I made a decision that, you know what? I'm going to be I'm a potato chip thief. I'm just going to lean into it because I have nothing else to live for and try. I'm really bad.
Yeah. I mean, did I not ask you if what's his name was going to start for the Vikings? And you're like, nah, he's not going to start his first week.
Very wrong. And
yeah. I mean, you would have been a better pickup for me than Heineke, who we'll get into me as also a loser. Heineke goes out. If I would have had a halfway decent quarterback, maybe I make it a little bit tighter against Nathan, but it's just the waiver wire for QB. You want to have a QB. I'll tell you that much because you cannot just spot start guys.
Oh yeah.
It's
a bad year for quarterbacks.
Another just shocking development. Ross, loser, the big L.
He's at 500. He's
one game
6-4. He's at 6-4. He's close to 500. This is weird.
I don't want to spoil the power rankings, but doesn't look good for Ross. Maybe this is the kick in the butt that his team needs.
I don't know.
Lucas, also loser of the week. I think we've been kind of predicting this the last couple of weeks. Lucas's team isn't super strong. Derrick Henry fell on his face again. Really poor performance. Lucas's team not very good. And then my boy Wes.
Dolphins.
Who
he's starting 5 Dolphins.
Yeah. The Dolphins are on bye. They're not on bye this week. If the Dolphins carry Wes through the rest of the year, he's a tough playoff team, especially if he's just dominating with them. The cool guy thing out there was to pick up the Miami defense. He spent money on the defense, whole dollar, made sure to get them on the waiver claims. They have a pretty light schedule for the rest of the fantasy football schedule. So he's put all his chips in on the Dolphins. A-Chain might be coming back. Mike McDaniels refuses to answer fantasy football questions, which I thought was very funny. That was
great.
I think he's a little bit too on a lot of the times, but I thought that was very funny. I just wish that he didn't sound like such a idiot with his idiot voice. Like
he's a smart guy who doesn't sound smart.
Well, it's not even that. It's like he's doing the like I'm being funny voice.
Yeah.
And it's like you can just say it in a flat affectation, and it should be fine. So some of the best performances for this, I just took best players on each of the winning teams. TJ Hawkinson for Nathan was boosted with a good quarterback play for the Vikings. He was a monster this week.
Beast, check down king.
Always love doing this. Stefan, when your kicker scores 21 points,
Yes.
Jason Myers,
21
it's
points.
tough to lose. It's tough to lose when your kicker goes for 21.
I may be anti-defense, but I am pro-kicker because kickers can get you negative points. So I love to see a good, strong kicker performance.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb tearing it up for Sam. He's been incredible the last couple of weeks. Same with Jamar Chase, along with Burrow, really boosting Tom. Mike Evans, I believe that was a Drew start.
Yep.
Mike Evans has been really good the last couple of weeks, especially this last week. I think he had 19 points. Libby had Keenan Allen, just one of his crazy monster performances.
I just gift wrapped him Keenan Allen.
He's the entire Chargers offense.
You know what? I don't want Keenan Allen. He's great, but I just don't want him. I want DeAndre Swift instead. Great decision.
And then this is also a dig at, I believe, Libby.
Yeah.
The Cleveland defense, the highest scoring defense of the week. Congratulations, 16 points. Only reason why you won was because you had a 16-point defense. Definitely not because you had multiple other players that were significant. But yeah, really good week across the board. You can see where the players really affected the teams that ended up winning. Some of the worst performances, Taysom Hill finally came back to earth.
That one was weird because he usually has good games against the Vikings. And I was ready to make the joke that you actually have a 2-quarterback team because you have Taysom Hill. But I don't know if I can make that joke now because he's not good anymore.
I'm going to keep him around, but yeah, came back to earth after having a last couple good weeks. Derrick Henry, bad. Zach Moss finally stopped producing for the Colts. That's been right there with Ross, going down has been Zach Moss's lack of performance. Something happened to Trevor Lawrence because you could have started Will Levis with 5 points.
Yeah, clearly.
And he would have been better than Trevor Lawrence.
When you're getting single-digit, less than 5-point performances from your quarterbacks, that's it's not great. But we'll see. Dobbs, see if I can't curse him by spending so much money to get him.
Calvin Ridley, I have him in another league, Wes, so I feel your pain. It's just, what are you going to do? The Jacksonville offense has been disappointing, or at least was disappointing this last week. Calvin Ridley's just been bad even when their offense has been going because ETN usually gets all the points. Really tough. And then Seth with the all-timer again. 0 points, Jahan Dotson. After having 2 really good weeks the previous 2 weeks, gets 2 passes thrown to him, doesn't catch them. 0 points in the flex position. Tough to get over that.
Hate to see it.
Poor Seth. All right. Into our weekend update.
Yes, weekend update.
The Denver Broncos pulled out their 3rd consecutive win with a 24-22 victory over the Buffalo Bills. Following a 1-5 start, Sean Payton's club has clawed its way to 4-5 with 3 consecutive wins over Green Bay, Kansas City, and now the Bills. In response to the recent success, Broncos head coach Sean Payton was quoted as saying, "I keep saying it, there's that fine line between a groove and a rut. This statement truly shows the slim margins that govern all competition and truly adds perspective to the ups and downs of fantasy football. Unless you're Tim, and then the fine line between a groove and a rut is in fact the Grand Canyon."
Oh boy. Okay. So now that I know that your jokes are going to be making fun of my team, this is going to be fun. The Cardinals claimed running back Michael Carter on Wednesday, a day after he was waived by the Jets. The addition gives the Cardinals more depth behind James Conner. ESPN fantasy analyst Mike Clay figures him to be a low-end RB3 in most leagues, with the exception of my team where he'd be a locked-in RB1 starter.
Yeah. So I see why you think I would have written all my jokes about you, but I zigged where you thought I zagged. I did not. That was the only
Thank
one
goodness.
I had for you. 3 games after Frank Reich handed off play calling duties to Thomas Brown, the Carolina Panthers coach is taking back the responsibility. I'm in the position I'm in because of years of being a successful offensive coordinator and play caller, Reich said on Wednesday. We have 8 games left, and I just want my attention to everything that I can do and everything that I can bring to bear help to the offense to take the next step. Lucas also will be taking back his fantasy draft responsibility from his brother Adam, who apparently helped him draft his team this year, leading to one of the most disappointing years in Lucas's fantasy football career.
Ooh,
Breaking
is
news.
that a scoop?
Breaking scoop and news. I talked to Adam a couple weeks ago.
Man.
He mentioned that he helped Lucas this year with our draft. I might be wrong about the league he helped in. I tried to double check with him multiple times, but I don't think Adam knew what I was talking about. But that is my scoop of the week, is that Lucas might be bad this year because Adam actually picked his team.
That's like an actual news update on Weekend Update. That's a first. I like it. Very nice. A Philadelphia-based radio station won't play local artist Taylor Swift ahead of the Chiefs-Eagles upcoming matchup, claiming it will give Philly a competitive edge. Following suit, my team has also decided not to play Swift, DeAndre, ahead of my matchup with Stefan's team, mostly to prove that I have no chance at a competitive edge, no matter who is in my lineup.
This is the Charlie Brown Weekend Update.
Yeah, it's the Debbie Downer Weekend Update.
Any Lions fan with a weak bladder might need to invest in Depend subscription because Dan Campbell isn't going to stop taking calculated risks. Here's what I would say, because I tell my family just wear a diaper before some of these games, he said via Wilbert Child of The Ticket. I'll give them an alert and say, put them on and be ready to roll. In response to this comment, Patrick Mahomes said, I think it might be tricky to wear the same diaper for every game.
Oh, nice, because he wears the same underwear. I get that one. Wild.
2 stories in one.
Yeah, you that's like a turducken of a joke. Happy Thanksgiving early on. Longtime Pittsburgh Steelers special teams coach Danny Smith tore his rotator cuff on a sideline hit during Sunday's win over the Packers. Checking into his matchup for the first time on Sunday, potato chip thief team owner Tim Shazer's face melted like the Nazis at the end of Indiana Jones. It's bad.
We could spend a lot of time talking about how bad your team is, but
it was actually the quickest time I had writing Weekend Update jokes, because I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make fun of my team. It was really easy.
I'm glad I almost followed suit, but I wanted to break news in the second joke, and
I like it.
Then that threw me off, and then whatever. So speaking of Tim being terrible, on to the power rankings for Week 11. Tim taking up the rear again. Lucas at our number 11 spot. I think those two have. Well, I think Stefan's been holding 11, but we can't put him at 11 anymore. So Lucas might have just freshly taken that spot. Followed by Wes, me, Stefan, Drew, Sam at our 6th spot. He might be moving up.
Yeah.
Ross at number 5.
Low point.
A drop. Who would have thought? Middle of the pack. Not good for Ross. We've got Seth ranked ahead of him at 4. Our top 3 shakeup. 3, Tom.
I
2,
love this.
Libby. 1, Nathan. Tom.
I love putting Tom in the top 3.
Hottest team in the league. Guy you don't want to play. He's been all over our board in that middle, and now I think he's in his right spot in the top 3. Libby, we got to put him at 2. That last week performance was crazy. We know what his team has the potential to do. Nathan, still nothing left to say. I do have to push back because Ross and Libby both said that, Ross had a great run a couple of years ago where he went undefeated in the regular season. And we've been hyping Nathan's team up. And to that, I just want to say that's show business, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Short memory, goldfish memory. Do you want me to always bring up Nathan's team having a great year, but caveated every single time by saying, but Ross went undefeated? No, got to put butts in seats. Nathan is the greatest team you've ever seen, and that's the final word.
It's hard to disagree. I am looking forward to the Rota Bowl this weekend to see we've actually the matchups this weekend are interesting because all the good teams are playing each other and all the bad teams are playing each other. So could lead to a playoff defining standings afterwards. But yeah, I will definitely be watching Nathan versus Sam and probably rooting for Sam.
This might be the first week in a while that I've been projected to beat somebody playing Lucas. So we got the battle of the Lukes. One, a true Luke, Luke. One, not so much.
It's a fancy Luke. And I mean, Stefan will be on the rise because he has the pleasure of playing me this weekend. So congrats on your win, Stefan.
That leads me into my Stone Cold Locks of the Century of the Week. I was going to take Stefan playing you, but I'm like, I guarantee Tim already did it. So I'm not taking the game. So I'm going to be disappointed. Okay, good. I'm like, I don't want to pick the same game. I know Tim's going to go against himself, so I won't do it. So I had, obviously, my pick. Lucas is going to beat me. Lucas +4. Hopefully he doesn't win and just covers. But yeah, I'll take myself right away. In the Rotoball Bowl, I have Nathan -10.5. All his guys are back from bye, and that team is scary when he is fully loaded. And then I'm going with the hot guy, Mr. 3, on our power ranking list. Tom, getting points, 10.6. Put it on the board. Believe he's playing Libby, right?
He is, because I took Libby. This is interesting because this is also a matchup that is interesting to me, especially because they're 2 and 3 in the power rankings. But I think that while Tom is the hot hand right now, I think that Libby is even hotter. That's your poll quote. Libby is hotter.
All right.
So
Who are the Lions playing? The Lions are playing the Bears. That does not look good for Tom.
Yeah, and the Bengals are playing the Ravens tonight, I believe. So those AFC East matchups, or AFC whatever division they're in, they get pretty chippy. AFC North? Are they AFC North? I don't know. Anyways, it'll be maybe a chippy, low-scoring Thursday night game. So who knows? I am taking also Ross -7.7. I keep saying that he's going to turn it around, so I have to keep believing that. Or maybe I'm actually what's bringing Ross down by picking him. Who knows? And then obviously Stefan +2 might as well be Stefan -100. He's going to beat me. I think it's only +2, and I'm favored because I have Justin Jefferson in my lineup, and he's projected for 15, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to play. So I'm not going to be the favorite.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Dobbs to Jefferson. It sounds pretty good. He looks like, dare I say, Teddy Bridgewater 2.0.
It's like a mix between Teddy Bridgewater. I was actually going to say Tavares Jackson because T-Jack was a little
T-Jack.
He was a little heavier.
He can move.
Yeah, he can move, and Dobbs is a little heavier than Teddy was, so it's definitely, I mean, my fantasy football team is awful, but watching Dobbs these past couple weeks has been a lot of fun, I have to say.
Is Dobbs better than Jordan Love? I think he is.
Yeah. I think at this moment, I wanted to believe that Jordan Love would be good, which is why I drafted him, but I mean,
who would have thought that the Vikings had 2 better quarterbacks on their team in 1 year than the Packers? Kirk Cousins is better than Jordan Love. Dobbs might be better than Jordan Love, and they just grabbed him out of nowhere. Like this, it's not good.
It's like the early 2012 when the Vikings had Joe Webb and we went and beat the Packers in the playoffs or something like that. We're just throwing everybody into the quarterback position.
Joe Webb was a travesty.
I love Joe Webb. He was great.
He was so bad when he actually had to play real football. He just blew the Packers' minds by being able to run. There you go. There's our Stone Cold Locks of the Century of the Week. I'm sure since I talked about it, I'll go 1 and 2. Maybe Tim can come back, but pretty dominant, 20 and 10 to 12 and 18. The bit that keeps on giving me hope.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at anything related to fantasy, and somehow at this silly little thing, I'm just scrolling through our previous weeks. You rarely miss.
It's tough. It's when you know who's going to win and who's going to lose. That's all you really need to know.
You are a true fantasy football pundit.
What can I say? I am good at things that don't matter. That is our Week 10 recap, Week 11 look ahead. Like Tim said, we got a bunch of good matchups this week, so looking forward to those. I believe Libby said the trade deadline is during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I will have to look to see what trades I can make before then. That usually means I'm going to lose. So we got that to look forward to. No more trading, no more moving guys around. Teams will be locked in. We got the playoff push going. Libby mentioned in his letter that hunt for the 8th seed should be interesting. There's a lot of mixing around there, especially with the points for guy maybe not having the strongest team. The guys ahead needing wins to make sure that they lock up those higher spots. So unlike last year, where it was pretty much decided, we have a little bit more competitive middle of the pack this year. That'll add some more excitement as we continue on towards the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this weekend it's going to be the separation of the good and the really bad. Are we? Libby also mentioned in his letter, and I'm trying to check it. Are we doing that the drafting thing where we draft teams and pit them against each other? I can't see if that's next week or not.
I am afraid to weigh my opinion because then that's what we'll just do. So I will stay silent as long as possible, and I'm sure I will make the decision at the last possible moment for all of us.
That sounds like a good plan. Do you have a parent corner? I do not have. Well, I mean,
I can. No. Oh, what has my dog done? Man, if I would have known we were going to carry this bit on, I could have thought of something crazy.
I only just thought of it now. I really liked the bit, but all I have to say is that all of my kids are sick right now, and it's awful. So it's not even a fun parent corner. It's just everybody's sick.
Yeah. I don't know. A dog's an idiot.
Next week.
A dog is an idiot. I'll say this in relation to Libby complaining about his son pooping. My dog refuses to poop. If she is let outside on a lead, she will not poop in the yard, no matter how long I leave her out on the lead. As soon as I take her on a walk, she will then poop. Now this, as we get into the winter time, is extremely annoying because the comfortability that I enjoy letting her out into the yard, it's not fenced in, so she does have to be on a lead, would be greatly beneficial as opposed to me then having to walk like 10 blocks for her just to do her business. So this is my battle as it starts getting colder. Poop is on the mind when it comes to children of all shapes, sizes, colors, and fur amounts.
Whenever you become a parent, it is really just 90% dealing with poop and 10% everything else.
I mean, especially with dogs, she eats, she sleeps, and she poops. That's all she does, and annoys people and scratches the faces of kids that come over to my house, which doesn't happen often, but when it does, she scratches them in the face. There you go. Parent corner.
Good one.
I'll be more prepared next week. She does weird
too.
stuff, so I'm sure I can talk about my dog as much.
I'm sure I can.
Everybody's favorite pastime, listening to people talk about their dogs.
Hey, everybody wants to listen to something.
Right. Nice tight 30. Good job by you.
I like it. I'm literally in the basement and in the basement of the fantasy league.
All right.
Go up.
Climb your way to the top.
Football.